this evening, but I did want to hang out and chat with y'all, say how things are going. How's life treating you? What's your scent of the day? Hope that everything is going a-okay, all right for you guys. Life is kind of crazy right now. Traffic, even in my little city, it's gotten really crazy, and it's just taken a lot of time to do anything. So I've been really busy today. I didn't even get to keep up with my Instagram as much as I wanted to today. So it's been kind of crazy. How's the fragrance life been treating y'all? Anything new on your radar? Anything new exciting? Any news? Anything y'all want to talk about? I don't know. For me, I don't know if y'all saw recently. I had those fragrances from Bortnikov and Zerzhov. Probably shouldn't say, but I'm way too honest with you guys. But my dad bought those. If you are curious, and we both buy and sell fragrances and try things out all the time. Again, we're not near any boutiques, so we either have to pay money for samples or decants or just buy the darn things. Um, Gamiel's here in the house. Hey, my friend, how you doing? Good to see you. Hey, buddy. I'm waiting on the Morning Chest by Wilhelm. Wilhelm's nice. That Morning Chest, I think it's going to be a big hitter. It does have some similarities to Creed, but it is its own thing. It's a very refreshing. Has almost like a fresh morning quality about it, like a fresh, crisp green kind of morning, like has that fresh sprout kind of, like plant type of smell. Really nice, really good fragrance. If you probably bought that at Scent Explorer, and I probably shouldn't have, but I did end up buying a bottle of really patchouli from the House of Boise 1920. I've been wanting it for a really, really long time. It's a very wearable patchouli. It's like a cedar, woody, airy patchouli. It's not a heavy, rich, ambery, resinous, sweet. It's definitely not a gourmand. It's more on the fresh, citrusy side of patchouli. Then does have a lot of cedar woodiness to it, and it's a very versatile fragrance. I also find it kind of warm with some spices. And I think really patchouli is a great patchouli out there. It's not the deepest or the heaviest or the richest patchouli, but it's not really trying to be that. It's trying to be more of an everyday wear, versatile kind of patchouli, like a gentlemanly fragrance, and I like it. So I don't know if everybody's tried that one. It needs to be on your radar if you like a patchouli. Professor X, happy to see. How's it going? I'm doing pretty good. I'm actually kind of tired. Last night, my neighbors kept me up till like 3 in the morning, and then I had some neighbors wake me up at like 8 in the morning. So I have like 5 hours of sleep, if that, probably less than 5 hours. And oh, sorry, I'm probably covering up the mic again. Sorry, I have to remind myself every time not to do that when I'm when I'm holding this camera with the shaky camera. But anyways, so I'm pretty tired. I did a lot of shopping today, and I ran some errands and tried to do some things for friends and family, and it's been kind of crazy over here. So, but thanks for checking up on me, Professor X. Thanks for asking. It's anyways. Factory Zone says sounds good. Yeah, I'm really excited for that really patchouli that never actually had a actual bottle of Blase 1920. If you've never seen their bottles, they might not be the fanciest bottles in the world, but they do have a unique style of their own, and I do think that they look quite nice. So that might be another house for y'all to explore if you've never tried the House of Blase 1920. No notes. Hey, my friend, how you doing? How's it going? Is that little man showing some cash? I don't know what you mean by that, but yeah, maybe you're joking about the Zerzhovs I showed. Those are expensive things. My dad bought the Alexandria too. I don't think I probably would never be able to show you that bottle, even if I had that kind of money. I don't. It's a good fragrance, but I don't know if I would pay for it. And that's a darn expensive fragrance. Have you seen how much that fragrance is on Lucky Scent? That's like a $500 plus fragrance right there for the 100 ml of Alexandria too. Whew, that's a pricey one. Sure. I think he's just saying peace. Oh, okay. I thought you were joking with me. This week I have showcased more niche fragrances. I will be putting out maybe tomorrow or Monday a video focused more on mass appealing date fragrances, great designer fragrances. Again, I try to have a very good balance of things, and y'all correct me if I ever stray. For a while, I focused too much on indie, and I do need to have a good balance of content that everybody likes, and I try to make something for everybody. So I think I've appeased the niche heads for a little while. I think I'll make a little bit of designer content for y'all coming out real soon. So no note says yeah, Zerjoffs are pricey. I have some on my wish list, but I think they'll stay there for a while. I kind of do the same thing, even though there's fragrances that I really want and I've been wanting for a very long time. If it's something like a Boadicea or fragrances that climb up there to three or $400 plus, there's a lot of fragrances I really like. You know, we all do our fragrance journey differently. There's still a lot of great designer fragrances and a lot of other great cheapies and things that I need to try and get my hands on. And there's things that I need to get before they're fully discontinued or the price gets too crazy on them. So it's yeah, I usually put the really expensive specialty fragrances to the back of the burner like that. I put them to the side. You know, I really want I think it's from the House of Unique E. I think it's called Kute. I think it's going to be a big top seller. I think it's going to become popular. It's a really nice fragrance, but I forget. I think that one's a little over 300. So let's see here. Stephanie Dimming's in the house. Hey, how's it going? Good to see you. Hopefully, y'all are doing all right over there on your side of the world. Anything new with y'all? Has your life been crazy with, you know, Christmas shopping or holiday shopping or traffic or anything like that? It's been crazy. Today kind of was rough because again, I got kept up till 3 a.m. in the morning, and then I got woke up at about 8 by, you know, noisy people again. And I'm trying to survive on 5 hours, and it's just been hustle, bustle, drive, go, you know, stop, go, traffic, and all kinds of stuff. So, anyways, fragrance wise, this week was nice. I tried a lot more niche. Y'all probably saw that from my fragrance reviews, and I for some reason I sprayed up my jacket with a bunch of fragrances. I'm actually washing it right now to see if I can't get some of the smell out. It doesn't smell bad. The fragrances I smelled aren't unpleasant, but they're kind of unique. And when you want to just relax, if they're producing really strongly off your jacket, I don't know. To me, it's not as relaxing. They're not bad. They're not, you know, terrible fragrances, but I don't know. I kind of like wearing things that are subtle and more leathery on my jackets. Maybe something that's a tiny bit spicy. I love my Supreme Leather by Polo on my jackets. I love that stuff on jackets. But did y'all have it? Do y'all spray? Do y'all have certain fragrances for jackets? Maybe I've jumped off way too much on the deep end of fragrance. Stephanie says, "Scent of the day is le. How do you say that? I can't even speak right now. La Boratio. As I say it, Olfactivo Alumbar. A random amber I found on Macari. It's good. I haven't tried that one. It sounds nice. There are a lot of interesting houses and brands out there, and there's so many things to explore. I try to showcase a lot of them, but every once in a while you'll see people like Huele Mocho, or you know, you'll see somebody pop up there and just showcase something that you've never heard of or seen of before, and it looks really exciting. Like tonight, I think I'm going to win a bid on a Merchant of Venice fragrance, and I've never had one of those, and I've seen mixed reviews. Some people really like them, some people don't like them so much, and some people think they're too expensive. So I'm going to get an extremely good deal on it, and I've looked at the notes, and I've seen some reviews on it on Fragrantica, and most of the people on Fragrantica are really positive about it. So I have hopes on that one, but again, it's tough. I'm sure some of y'all feel the same way. You have to pay a lot of money for samples, and then you risk on blind buys. If you don't remotely like the fragrance and you had to blind buy it, you might not want to mess with the house. Like again, I bought Amans from Vicanto. I mean, I know that Vicanto has some good stuff, and I've heard very good things about a lot of their fragrances. But I blind bought that fragrance, and I didn't like it. So I don't know when. I don't know when's the next time I'll get back to, you know, forking out the money for that another blind buy. So Stephanie says, "Oh, sorry you had." Oh no, it's okay. I'm pulling through. I'm sure y'all are too. You know, life has been rough for a lot of us. So I'm not feeling bad or terrible or anything, just a little bit tired, and I'm looking forward to relaxing tonight. It's not the biggest deal in the world, but also when I went to get some food, I know that they were really busy, and that's fine. But to save time, I actually ordered on an app, and I think that they're not familiar with using people ordering through an app on the internet. So a lot of people got their orders before me, and my order wasn't special or a specialty order or anything too crazy. And I waited almost 30 minutes, and they messed up the order pretty bad. So that was kind of annoying. And you know that a big guy's got to eat, and it's like that'll put a wrench in your day too. So uh, a factory zone says traffic is stupid. Yes, it's stupid out there. I try to stay. I try to stay in. Yeah, avoid the traffic if you can. I think a lot of us, especially with what's going on in the world, are shopping online. And I think I've seen some people share some research and some evidence, and Amazon and some of the places are shooting through the roof. Everybody's buying this stuff online. At least a lot. There's still in person shopping. But I think that everything was switching over to online, but it's only gonna switch over even faster. It's gonna get crazy. So messing up a food order will set me off. Sorry that happened. Yeah, it's rough, especially when you wait 20 or 30 minutes. It was really like 30 minutes, and it wasn't a terribly special. It wasn't a specialty order really. It wasn't anything out of the norm. It wasn't a place where you buy food and the food was like custom. Like a Subway where you could have it like 500 different ways. It wasn't something like that. It was. I mean, it was ordered. And to me, I I used the app so they wouldn't mess up. They've messed up or couldn't hear me straight before, so I just used the app, and I hope that it pulls up on a screen and that they can read it. And I don't know how you mess up an order when it's up there on a screen and you can see exactly what it says. And again, this wasn't even a burger joint or anything. It didn't even have nothing that had toppings. It wasn't like anything was customized. It was. I don't want to say the restaurant. I probably shouldn't, but I actually really like the restaurant. It's just that sometimes the service you get not so good. Um, I did my first purchase shopping since February. Picked up Zara in person. Which Zara did you get? I still haven't bought Ridgewarm Seductive. I know that everybody's talked about that. Everybody seems to like it, especially for the price. Maybe I'll get into Zara one of these days. I've heard it seems that everybody likes them for the price. Again, I'm sure that they'll be good for the price, but I tend to be funny. Like if I find a new niche fragrance that's better than something I have, even if I like it, sometimes I'll actually save up money and sell the thing I used to love and replace it with something that I think is personally better for me. And again, Zara fragrances, I'm sure they're great and that they work, but I'm kind of funny. I mean, if I would have known about Zara when I first got in the fragrance game with cheapies and stuff, I probably would have been crazy about them. But I'm kind of deeper into the game now, and I don't know if that's my thing. So, uh, in person, yeah. What's poppin', yo? Hey there, Devon Dawkins. Happy to see you, man. What's poppin' over there? What's your little logo or your avatar, your profile picture? Is that a jack o' lantern like Halloween? I don't know what's going on over there, man, but it's good to see you. Nose no note says I got intense dark exclusive. The brother of Rich Warm Addictive. It smells pretty nice, like a Mugler, Amen, Killian, intoxicated. That sounds interesting. So kind of like a seductive dark fragrance, maybe a little woody. Got some caramel, maybe some smoky, accents or nuances there. So that's pretty awesome. Scented Melanin's in the house. Hey there, how you doing? Good to see you. Hello there, Ben. Absolutely. How's life treating you? Any new fragrances for y'all? Unboxing fragrances. I showed y'all. I want to say, is it Nexus? I'm so tired. It's no, it's Naxos. By Zerzhov, and I actually got to try that for the first time. I saw some other people unboxing it. I don't know if they bought it because it's actually getting trendy right now. A couple reviewers talked about it, and I wouldn't be amazed if Zerzhov Naxos gets some more hype and gets some more love because a couple fragrance reviewers start talking about it. I didn't get it as a promotion. or anything like that. I don't think, or I don't know that other people got it that way, but it's kind of funny to see a couple people get the same fragrance at the same time. Maybe we all had this idea that we would get Naxos this year at the same time. It's pretty funny. So performance could be better, but for $12, 12, I mean €12, 100 mil, can't go wrong with it. Probably will give it away soon. Yeah, that's it. That's how I feel about a lot of cheapies. You know, even though I really like them and I really respect them and expect. I mean, let's talk about, again. Some of y'all really like the cheapies. I'll give respect to another cheapie here, Halloween Man X. Guys, I know it's a really odd name. It's kind of weird that it's named Halloween Man X. It's like, what is this? Some cologne that they sell in a Halloween store? Like, is it some off-brand, I don't know, horror movie production fragrance or something? But I don't know why it has such a funny name. But it's one of the best cheapy fragrances out there for the money. No doubt about it. One of the best coffees for the money. It dries down to a massive appealing, almost blue sweet kind of combination. And it's just one of the best bang for your buck on the market right now. It's really hard to beat. And if you're looking for a cheapie and you got your nose on it, and maybe you're scared of coffee, it's not a scary coffee. It's quite a wearable coffee. And for the money, it's a big bang for the buck, guys. So there's my cheapie shout out. I know a lot of y'all guys look for the affordable fragrances and the best values. And that one, especially for the fall and the winter, it's magic, guys. It's good. So yeah, shout out to the cheapies. There's some beautiful ones out there. I just sometimes I find something that I think is even better for me personally. And when you have, I don't have the biggest collection, 60, 70 fragrances. I still, I still have fragrances collecting dust. I don't know if I'll ever be able to wear all my fragrances. And, for me to justify having a fragrance around just because I know it's a good value. I don't know. For me, kind of tough. Let's see. Chill, bruh. Got drink in hand. Absolutely. That's nice. Hope that you're drinking something good over there. I might have to get myself some cranberry juice or something after this. I need something to drink too. Hey, everybody. And again, they make some mini apple pies, and I like those from time to time. And where I ordered my food, they forgot those, and so I haven't got myself a sweet treat today. I was like, I need to get myself something sweet. Scented Salt says, "Hey everybody, is everybody doing nice in the cold night? I'm doing pretty good. It's kind of chilly. Actually, we've had a fairly warm winter over here where I live this year. It's I think it's more of that. It's kind of been kind of sunny. It's so sunny it almost feels warmer than it should be. So I don't know why. It's usually a little bit more gloomy and overcast and a little bit darker, but it's been really sunny uh, outside. So." Um, let's see, but I got my jacket on. This is a different jacket, you can probably tell. This is my soft, was it called like a soft shell? Because it's got some structure to it, but it's still soft to the touch. And I really like those kinds of jackets. So I've been hearing that joint is hot, Ben. Absolutely. That Halloween Man X. If you're into the cheapies, if you know a good value, gotta sample it. Well, honestly, I'm not sure which one you're talking about. Nah, bro, no juice here. Oh, cognac. You're going all out. If you're talking about Naxos, by Xerjoff, yeah, it probably would be good to get a sample, but it's a pretty likable fragrance. I would definitely get, again, everybody does their fragrance journey differently, but I think the average person will probably be very happy with Pure Havana by Mugler, and it does something very similarly for a lot cheaper, and some people actually prefer Pure Havana over Naxos. So it all really depends on which one you like more. But the better value for money probably goes with the Mugler, but the Naxos definitely steps up the game a little bit. So, but if you're talking about trying to get a sample of Halloween Man X, that's one of those fragrances that's like $20. You might as well, if it sounds good, if you watch a couple of reviewers and it sounds like they're being honest, or if it looks like it's going to work for you, just go for it and just go buy Halloween Man X. I usually don't try to encourage people to blind buy fragrances, but it's an odd fragrance that's not available at Ross's and TJ Maxx's usually. It's not a fragrance you're going to find on the shelves really. It's kind of something that's out there, and you kind of have to order it online a lot of the times. So, um, Scented Melanin says, I've recently got Tom Ford's Noir de Noir, and I love it, but I'm slightly disappointed, I must say. Expected to be a little stronger. Yeah, the Noir line isn't the strongest line. Again, I don't know what you were told, and I don't know what other people said. I've actually had people disagree with me. I said that the original Noir gave me like six or so. I think I said something like the Noir de Noir gave me like six or seven, and I think I said that the Noir Extreme it becomes pretty subtle after like 5 or 6 hours. It does last, maybe 7 hours or so, but it becomes pretty subtle after 6 hours or so. So they're not the strongest performing fragrances, that's for sure. Yeah, Tom Ford, those are kind of more seductive fragrances, so I can kind of see where they were going with that kind of DNA. So I don't know. I kind of like where the performance is with Noir Extreme because I think it makes I mean, the DNA is already there, but when you have a subtle, seductive fragrance, you can get close to somebody without it kind of like annoying the other person or, being too much or in their face. So Noir Extreme, I think, is nice. But yeah, the other ones maybe should have performed a little bit better. So. Noir de Noir is getting some weak after reform. I don't know too much about the reformulation talk. It might have been, Tom Ford's been messing around. They've discontinued a lot of their fragrances, and they played around. I know that they have reformulated Oud Wood by Tom Ford. I think they might have actually reformulated that one two times, maybe three. They've really messed around with that DNA. It's not what it used to be. I still think it's a great entry level oud fragrance, but is it the best bang for value for your dollar, bang for your buck? Probably not. But it's still a pretty nice fragrance. But again, I don't know. Who knows the regulations, the hoops they have to jump through, and or maybe sometimes maybe they're just trying to make a little money. Who knows? But yeah, again, I'm not against Tom Ford. Some people might think that I hate Creed and Tom Ford and Killian. I don't hate them, but Killian is just not my personality. I do wish that some of them projected better. Tom Ford's definitely need a lot better performance, and they just discontinued a lot of their fragrances, and they kind of play the designer game of producing recently, at least they have, where they produce a lot of fragrances and they throw them at the wall and they see what sticks is kind of a metaphor that we use around here, or at least that I've heard a lot of my life. So they send out a bunch of stuff and see if they see what works or not, and then they discontinue the stuff that doesn't sell very well. And for more of an exclusive niche house, I mean, I don't really like that, but maybe that's fine to some people, but I don't think so. And when things even like what was that phrase called, Velvet Peach or something? Or what was that thing called? And Lost Cherry and some of these fragrances, like they smell nice, but for kind of a high end exclusive fragrance, they're I don't know. I'd like something a little bit more interesting, and the performance isn't right. So I don't know. We all like things differently. I've seen a couple fragrance reviewers, and they seem to be big Tom Ford fragrance fans, and they won't say anything against them. They didn't even say anything against the Lost Cherry or the peach one, and the Double F fragrance. Also, I don't know. That one didn't perform. I didn't think too well either. So sad. I know. Yeah, no, I know it's crazy. Unless you get older bottles, yeah. And I'm not willing to seek them out, and if people want extra money for even more expensive than Tom Ford already wants. I mean, there's plenty of niche fragrances out there. There's plenty of brands. There's new releases. There's amazing quality and amazing stuff coming out all the time. I don't want to have, a lot of the times, unless I really have an emotional connection to that fragrance. It might make me sad for a little while, but I mean, there's so much stuff out there to find and explore. You'll find something just as good or even better just around the corner if you try. So, Oud Wood is a shell of its former glory. Absolutely. Oud Wood by Tom Ford is not what it used to be. And when I tried it, it was probably the second formulation or whatever it was. It probably wasn't even the original deal, the real deal original fragrance. So, yeah, it's messed up. So I still like oud wood, but I don't even like to talk about it that much. If you're gonna go for Tom Ford these days, I say just get ombre leather and call it a day, or maybe Tuscan leather if you really like something spicy and intense. And for the ladies, I don't know. There was one called, what was that thing called? Like Neige Blanche or something like that. It's a really nice, clean fragrance, but I guess you have to have money for it, just to smell like a really classy, clean lady. But that I think it's called Neige Blanche or something like that. Was really really good. Original Dogman's in the house. Hey man, how's it going? How's life treating you over there? I'm kind of tired over here, and life's just been crazy today, but I'm pulling through. Good to see you. Stephanie says my Cafe Rose is nuclear, but I recently smelled it at the counter and was definitely weaker. Yeah, I'm again try to take into consideration that you when you buy a fragrance, it's macerated and sometimes lost some of the alcohol out of the bottle. So over time, depending on how your fragrance is sealed and different factors, your fragrance actually can become higher concentrated. But you're right. A lot of the times these brands are kind of messing with things. A lot of Aventus fan people don't want to talk about it. A lot of people, I guess, don't want to talk about Creed because everybody likes them, but with almost all of their fragrances, they've switched over with the base of the fragrance. With their ambergris, I don't know if they're using any real ambergris, but to me it seems like a mix. Like it has some real white ambergris, but they're mixing it with a certain type of like a clean, almost soapy musk. So Creed's kind of skimped out on the quality again, and Creed doesn't get my money. When I show y'all bottles and I show y'all stuff, those are my dad's. He's a big Creed fan, and he likes to smell and try and sometimes flip and swap. Uh, big expensive Creed fragrances. Like I, I shouldn't joke about this, but it. I'm not insulting the person. It's just because the fragrance world's crazy, and again, money's always involved. But I put out a video speaking really highly about Green Valley. I think it was 2 or 3 months ago or something, and I had somebody like yesterday or the day before comment and said, "Where can you get this?" Or did you, or something to the effect of, "Did you really get Green Valley for 300?" And it was my dad. Yeah, he really did. But that was like 3 months ago, and I've spoken highly about it. My Mickers loved Green Valley. He used to speak about it. I think there's a couple fragrance reviewers who have mentioned it a time or two. Dan over there, Mr. Smelly probably mentioned it. So Green Valley's still a great fragrance and pretty highly desirable. And now you have to fork out like $700 unless you know the right person and somebody wants to be nice to you. I mean, these fragrances are highly collectible and vintage, and the prices on these things are going wacko. And you already know because of the shortage of a lot of things right now. Because of the shortage, there's actually more interest in vintage things. I don't know if any of y'all are into any types of collectibles, but because there's a shortage of the normal stuff, people are getting more interested in trying to get what they can get, or maybe getting interested in more of the vintage stuff that might be accessible, and the price is, it looks better because it's available. You can actually buy it. So collectible stuff prices are going through the roof, guys. It's crazy. It's crazy out there. No matter what kind of hobby you're in, I think the prices on stuff is going crazy. See, let me catch up with the comments. The original Tom Ford line were all bangers. He started making too many juices too soon, lost creativity. I could see that. Yeah, he's trying to serve his audience. He's trying to put lots of stuff out there. See, maybe see what people want. And yeah, he didn't really, there's money to be had too. So he's putting out a lot of fragrances and seeing what people really like, and taking, I guess, putting out safer fragrances, but putting out more fragrances more often, and then kind of doing the designer thing. Just discontinue what doesn't sell and keep around what does sell. And also, it kind of makes your brand somewhat seem limited. I don't know how that affects you in the long run. In the long run of things, people who are returning customers who want to buy the same fragrance over and over, I don't know how that affects their business. But when you do have a fragrance that's only out for a couple years and it's desirable, like a designer fragrance, it almost makes you want to buy it, or maybe even buy two bottles before it's all gone, and then it's going to be gone in a year or two. It's going to be discontinued. So Tom Ford kind of does that, and maybe that makes people want to buy it more. I don't know. Let's see here. But yeah, Tom Ford, I don't think they're as creative as they used to be. I mean, when they were coming out with like Tuscan leather and Tobacco Vanille and Oud Wood, and I thought Italian Cypress was an excellent fragrance. And even though Costa Azzurra didn't last for very long, I wanted it to last longer. I thought it was excellent with how it was made. If they would have made a Costa Azzurra that lasted twice as long, I'd probably would be my favorite aquatic of all time. It's yeah, Tom Ford's done some crazy stuff. So Scented Melanin says Devon Dawkins. I got commenting says I got a little vodka with mango in hand. Don't judge me. We're not gonna absolutely not judging you. Absolutely support you, Melanin. Be safe if you're on the road. Don't no funny business, but that's a good time. Mango's nice. I like mango. I don't know what they're called, but there's always those smaller mangoes that were a lot smaller, not a smaller size. And one time I lived somewhere where they brought those in regularly, and they were so affordable. They were like 70, 80 cents a piece, and it was like a nice snack. You could eat one of those instead of having to break open a whole mango and worry about having to eat the whole thing or saving half of it for later. And I thought they were sweeter. I thought that they were better. So mangoes are nice. Devon's Noir Extreme. Noir Extreme is a good fragrance. It might not have the performance people want, but again, I think Noir Extreme is perfect for date nights. I think that's its magic. I think that's what it's good for. So when you're going to be close to that special person, I think that's when Noir Extreme does its magic. So, cheers, Boo. Black Orchid's good too. I haven't tried the new EDP Black Orchid. I think it's in a gold bottle or something. I haven't tried the new one. I've had a couple ladies tell me that I probably should get it because they really like it in the fragrance community. So who knows? Maybe that Black Orchid is a real seductive charmer. I really don't know, but I'm sure that it's good. And I do tend to like dark fragrances sometimes. So hey, I think I don't remember it very well, but I think I tried the original and it was a decent fragrance. But at the time, it was kind of weird. I might actually like Black Orchid now. I need to revisit it, but the EDP might be something I'm into. Sometimes you have a change of hearts with fragrances. I still not am the biggest fan of Jean Paul Gaultier. It's a fine brand, it's a fine house, and a lot of people love it. But I thought that in the Navy was a pretty good blue fragrance, kind of like their interpretation of a blue fragrance. But I ended up giving it away to my brother. Um, and the essence was decent, but it was kind of their attempt at a La Nuit de l'Homme fragrance. So I didn't feel like it was very original. But the Le Parfum is pretty nice. I actually kind of like it. I wouldn't mind having that bottle. Um, the new Le Parfum, Jean Paul Gaultier Le Male. So I never tried Chopard, by the way. Got to check them out. Chopard's great. It's flying under the radar. That's another one of those brands that wasn't talked about very much. I don't know how well that they were marketed or not, but I think that their fragrance are like $120 or more in the boutiques, and you can find their fragrances for 40, 50, $60 depending on where or when you look at a bottle. The I've seen the oud a little bit cheaper than the amber. The amber is usually around that 50, $60 mark, but Chopard are pretty good quality for what you're getting when you get them on sale. Pretty darn good quality, and surprisingly good. Kind of a hidden gem, kind of stuff right there. Scent to Salt says, "Isn't it rare for fragrances to have ambergris?" Um, it depends, and again, they don't use a lot of it, but it really does make a big difference. And that's one reason a lot of the Creed fragrances had such a beautiful, fresh, clean, almost like salty musk to them. That's one reason that Creed had magic, and that's people used to say all the time that Creed has a certain magic to it, and it was that ambergris. And a lot of the people at the time didn't talk about notes or didn't think about the notes, but that's one reason that Creed had the magic. And I don't know if y'all smelled some of those older Creed fragrances, and have smelled the new stuff, but it doesn't feel the same. It doesn't have the same kind of quality about it. I think it's a shame. Creed was good back in 2015, 16. Yeah, and all the nonsense. Yeah, 2016 was, in my opinion, uh, the best. I mean, not the best year, but after 2016, Creative Ventus, really fell off the hill. They'd already been messing with it a little bit, but after 2016, to me, Aventus was kind of ruined. But that's just my opinion. So ambergris is rare, I would think, Patrick. It is really expensive, but you make tinctures out of it. A little bit goes a long way, and they don't put a lot in a fragrance, but a little bit does a lot to a fragrance. A little bit goes a very long way, yeah. But as is real oud. Yeah, real oud is terribly expensive, and you get very little of it in a fragrance. But again, it's very, very potent. A little goes a long way. But again, oud is kind of a funny thing. Like ambergris isn't marketed so much as an exotic thing that people look for so much in fragrances that they're willing to pay for. Oud has this mystique, and I like oud, and I almost kind of want oud to become more popular. But a lot of brands are, kind of using their own inspiration and twist, and some brands are charging more money than they should because they can get away with it because people think it has really expensive oud in it. When sometimes they might be just you even. I mean, I've heard that the synthetic oud accords are still really expensive to make, but if you're told that it's an oud fragrance, and even some of the expensive fragrances might not have any real oud in them, and they still, if you do get oud, it's just such a small amount. It's kind of tough, It's kind of tough, and that's one thing I try to do with my channel is try to figure out what's quality and what's not, and try to help the consumer, try to hold them accountable at least a little bit. So, evening scent of the day, Bulgari Wood Essence, absolutely. I've heard really good things about that one. I actually have not ever bought it, but I've just heard good things about it as kind of like a good clean fragrance. I think people compared it to Neroli Portofino, or it was something like that, and said it was a really good, like a designer version. So, original Dogman says scent of the day 1 million lucky, laughing over there. I think I saw. I think I saw your video. I think you said you picked it up for like 38 or $40 or something. That's really nice for 1 million lucky. So that 1 million lucky, it's not as popular as maybe it should be, and maybe it's really hitting some really good prices depending on where you find it. So just like Azara Wanted by Night, great fragrance. Don't know why it wasn't hyped and didn't hit the top 10 list as much as it should. A great, 1 million lucky and Azara Wanted by Night. And there's probably a few other ones out there really haven't gotten hyped. Really, and a real big compliment getter fragrances. Pure Excess Night by Paco Rabanne is another one that's kind of flown under the radar. So, sorry, dogs are being crazy over there. Ronald, how is that wood essence? Yeah, tell us more about that one. Ads, almost missed your comment, but I didn't. I caught up with you. It says, it was nice to see your review on Atkinson's fragrance. How often do you use it? I love Oud Save the King and Majesty the Oud. Honestly, I probably need to wear my fragrances more in general, and my niche fragrances. I tend to save them when I really feel like I want to wear them, and sometimes when I want to impress other people. So I do need to wear my more expensive fragrances more often. And again, I only have like 60 or 70 fragrances, and I kind of, honestly, that's kind of too much. I mean, for me, I don't put on 20 sprays every time I go out, and if I'm just enjoying fragrances myself, I don't need to put on 10 or 20 sprays. So. But I love Oud Save the King. It's a great fragrance. It's very calming and meditative, and it's a special fragrance. If you're looking into Atkinson's, I haven't tried all of them, but that one, and I think there's like a gin one that also might be worth looking into. But really nice house, underappreciated. There's some good big sales on Atkinson's out there. So let's catch up with the comments. Ronald, okay, what essence? Oh my gosh, Spicebomb Night Vision EDP is a banger. See, I haven't tried that one. I heard pretty lukewarm reception, or people are kind of negative about I think it was the EDT version of Night Vision. And then when the EDP came out, it's kind of that same thing happened with Dunhill Icon. Like Dunhill Icon wasn't that popular, but it was pretty decent and kind of got a lukewarm reception. And then they came out with the Dunhill Icon Elite, and nobody knew or cared about that Icon Elite even existed. Almost nobody knows about it, and it's kind of the same way that with Night Vision EDP, and you're getting the word out. I haven't tried it yet. I'm sure it's pretty good, but I don't know when I'll get around to trying that one. Whoa! Do you want me to show you this spider? I live in the South, guys. I don't know if y'all can see that right there, but that's I don't know if that's a spider, if that's a tick. Might be a tick. I'm gonna have to get it. Did y'all see that? I just had that crawling around over here. Ooh, don't like any of that business, so I'll have to get rid of that. So there we go. Handled it. Ronald, surprisingly good. I think Winter Rolly's good as well. Let me catch up. Chopard Cashmere smells like slightly ancient peach mango pie. And it's so good and it's so cozy. I've actually had my eye on that one. That fragrance looks really nice. You can get those for about 70. Thanks for bringing those up, Scented Melanin. I've tried to mention those a time or two. I probably need to do better about mentioning them. But great value. That is kind of like the high end, almost the niche offerings from Bentley, and they're kind of, I don't know why, but sometimes people really receive the niche lines of certain brands like Dior and Chanel exclusive are extremely well respected. Everybody wants to buy them. Everybody talks about them. But Bentley came out with their own like kind of like almost niche line, and they didn't seem to be really hyped up. They didn't seem to really get that popular. Don't really know why. I'm sure that they're pretty good. Maybe I'll have to get those. You can find some of those for about $70 now, guys. So if you're looking for some good sales, they might be worth checking out. I don't know why. Sometimes the niche lines kind of get forgotten about. Like Polo, everybody thinks that Polo is an older house or has older fragrances, and they came out with their Supreme line, their higher end line, their Supreme Cashmere, their Supreme Leather, which I love the Supreme Leather, and their Supreme Oud, and almost nobody talked about them. And it's kind of a shame. I would have liked to see Polo and maybe some of these brands come out with some nicer fragrances that were a little bit more specialty. I kind of like that. So surprisingly good, I think. Neroli. Ronald, thumbs up. Respect Chanel and how they operate. Yeah, they really don't put too many of their fragrances out there. They control their supply chain. Some people want things for sale and for cheap, but they protect their brand name. So I've been disappointed with the couple of Tom Ford frags I've tried so far, Tobacco Vanille and Grey Vetiver. If you're disappointed with those, Tom Ford might not be for you, my friend. Tobacco Vanille is considered one of the holy grails of Tom Ford, and there's a lot of people who might be mad at you for saying that. Actually, I'm with you. And fun, I don't know if you've heard me say that before, or if somehow you found the right person at the right time, and it was meant to be. But I actually don't like Tobacco Vanille. I respect the fragrance. It's pretty well crafted, but I do think it's a little bit simple. It's just tobacco and clove and vanilla. I don't think it's too special, but it is a really nice smell. But I'm just sensitive to clove, so the clove in the fragrance is a little bit too much for me to handle. It's a little bit too spicy, it's too persistent. It kind of annoys my vibe or energy, and sometimes gives me a headache. So, but Grey Vetiver, I thought the EDT. Some people think it's really refreshing. I thought the Grey Ford EDT was kind of boring. The EDP is kind of boring as well, but I do think it's a really good office fragrance if you're very standoffish or very hardworking, cool, collective kind of guy. But Tom Ford's Grey Vetiver is still a really good office fragrance. But, you know, we all like our different things. There's people who adore and are crazy about both of those fragrances. More power to you. You know, there's going to be fans of all kinds of different things. I probably love and adore some fragrances, you know, other people don't care so much about. So it's we're all different, and that's again why there's so many companies. And Scent Assault, you know, just find your brand, find your thing. You know, I really like Amouage. I really like Nichane. I think Ormond Jane's a pretty good house. I'm excited. I need to try more Profumo Aroma. I'm excited to try some more of those. And there's a lot of nice niche houses coming out. The Unique E is one to keep an eye on. Unique E is a pretty nice house coming out. Amore Oud is probably going to become more popular in the future. And again, Nichane is really killing it with Ani, and Fan Your Flames did pretty well for them as well. And I bought my bottle of Fan Your Flames about a year ago when they were still kind of a newer company, and they actually changed. They put a little bit more artistic flair and into the box, and they actually changed the cap. And my dad actually he forgot that I still had that fragrance, and he bought it. And when I came over and visited him, he's like, "Look what I got," and I'm like, I let you smell that one. I got that one. But it was kind of nice. Maybe I don't know if y'all want me to dedicate a video to that. The fragrance has not been reformulated, but They have changed the cap, and it's a little bit fancier of a presentation. It used to be it was a little bit more simple, but I mean the juice was good, so the presentation from Nishane didn't bother me too much. So let's see. Patrick, ombre leather is a beast. Smells like real black leather. Performs tomorrow like Godolphin. Fruity version of ombre leather. Both are great. I could see that with Godolphin a little bit. I got like a lot of a saffron kind of vibe, and in the dry down, I got a lot of vetiver on at least on my skin, and it could just be my skin. Sorry, guys. It could just be my skin chemistry, but Godolphin on me in the dry down became a vetiver fragrance. I mean, that's just about all I could smell in the dry down. So Godolphin's a good fragrance. It's not bad, but I'm just saying that it's to me it smells like a gentleman who's made out of money who likes to wear leather. It's got that vibe going on. So that's one of those fragrances that makes you smell like you got money. Private Label by Javoy is another one of those fragrances it'll have you smelling like money. That's for sure. So. Ben, have you tried any Dua fragrances? I have. I think it was who was it? I think somebody here was it you scented melanin. One of y'all sent me a bunch of samples and was really generous with me, and sent me a bunch of samples of those. There was about two of them that I thought were decent. Again, I everybody probably knows that when Dua came out pretty early, I actually bought about a dozen of their samples. I did I didn't care for them too much. Sorry, somebody was playing around with their car over there. But do it at first didn't do anything for me. A lot of people were talking highly about them, so I bought 12 samples. I've tried their newer releases, and I can see why people like them more. But there was only like two or so that I might actually buy. They're good. I even with the discount prices. I mean, you do get good performance, and you don't have to worry about reapplying the fragrance. But I don't know. Sometimes I feel like they're still kind of expensive. It all depends. It's all up to you. It's kind you get fragrances that last pretty long and smell pretty good, and but price per mil is kind of high. I mean, if you want something that's a little bit more accessible and you trust the brand, and you feel like you're getting better performance, you could be getting, feel like you got the same niche fragrance, but just for a better price. And I think that's what attracts a lot of people to maybe Dua. Like you got something of very similar, maybe the same quality, maybe as some of the niche fragrances, but you got better performance, and you don't have to worry about reapplying the fragrance. At least that's to me what it seems like. I'm not really sure what draws everybody to a brand. I know that we're all different, but I'd be really interested to see why people like Dua. And I think a lot of people like the performance. So Dua's not bad, pretty good house, but I don't know if I'll be buying a ton into them. Maybe one of these days I might get one or two, maybe. Words Ben, thanks John. Add it to the list. Absolutely. Azar Wanted by Night was overwhelmingly sweet. It is very sweet. You're right. But for some reason that's really popular with the younger. Again, I'm not saying anything against you, John. Absolutely not. I'm just saying like the party people, the people who go to the crazy parties and the raves and doing the crazy stuff, at the colleges. They want to smell like that. And I tested that fragrance and I've worn it before, and people go crazy about it. Again, I don't know how young I look. Again, some people say that I have a bit of the young curse as well. Again, I look very tired right now. When I'm happy and cheerful, and I've had people card me, and again, I'm getting closer to 30, and I don't know. Maybe that's help. One makes me more come off better with the fragrance. Maybe looking younger. I don't know. And I'm not trying to brag. It's kind of a curse. People think you're really young, and gals your age don't want to mess with you, and younger gals want to give you attention. It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny business. I don't know. Anyways, um, my Wanted by Night bottle remains fairly untouched. I'm wondering if it needs to grow on me. It really depends on your personality. It might not work for you. It's really going to depend on the person. I think it's a great cedar, spicy fragrance. In the designer thing, it is very sweet. It's some people are going to think it's too sweet. I'm kind John over there, John, my friend. I'm kind of curious that you don't like it. I think you really like Paul Rabanne's 1 Million Lucky, and I think that that fragrance is terribly, terribly sweet too. I'm kind of curious. Do you think that Zara Wanted by Night is even sweeter than 1 Million Lucky? I've had people tell me that both of them are terribly sweet, but I guess I'm not scared of sweet stuff from time to time. I don't want sweet gourmand stuff every fragrance, but from time to time I like something sweet. I do like my Ferragamo Uomo. I think somebody just drove up. Probably should check it out. Yeah, Ben doesn't like clove. Yeah, yeah. I struggle with clove. I can take it in the background of a fragrance. There's actually a fragrance called like Zalman Ottman that I need to get out there, but I haven't bought it yet. Probably gonna blind buy it. I think it's from the house of Lorenzo Ferenzi or something like that. It's a brand out of Italy. But I do like clove, but I just don't like it to be a big player in the fragrance. Um, let's see here. Do you like Bois de Jour? Bois de Jour is really really nice. And I do think maybe it's a tiny bit simple, but it's a very wearable fragrance. It's a great gentlemanly fragrance. They did it right. To me, in my humble opinion, and I know a lot of people are going to disagree, but Bois de Jour to me smells like a hybrid, almost like a mix of Eau Sauvage and something like Platinum Egoist. It's a very nice, gentlemanly fragrance that blends in some almost metallic nuances with some really nice, beautiful classic DNA, and it has this beautiful, almost like flat Sprite kind of quality about it. Um, but it's really nice. Bois de Jour. I wouldn't mind having. I'd be happy to have a bottle of that in my collection. I just honestly don't know if I want to pay the price right now. But sorry, the dogs are going crazy over there. But let's see here. Funny, you say that, Ben. I hate clove, but I love Lowe 7 Anonymio, which has clove done right. Funny how that works. Exactly. Sometimes you might really dislike a note, but it might work wonders for you. I've yet, to find a fragrance that I like with. I think there might be some fragrances that have clove snuck in, but I've yet to find a fragrance that actually has a ylang ylang in it that I really love. I respect and I've kind of liked some fragrances with iris, but I've never actually wanted to keep or wear a fragrance with iris or ylang ylang. And I don't, but I do think I can be converted to the two of those. But I don't think I'll ever be converted with heavy white florals or heavy yellow aldehydes. Those darn yellow aldehydes and things like Chanel Number Five. Some people say, again, I'm not trying to beat up. There is one fragrance reviewer who said he really liked it. I'm just joking about. I've seen some people online, and there is one guy who said it. But they said like, Chanel Number Five is easy to wear and it doesn't smell dated. Again, This is my opinion. This is just me, Benjamin here speaking. You can say I'm full of you know what if you want to, but Chanel Number Five. I don't understand a guy wearing it, but of course any guy or woman can wear anything they want. But you wouldn't catch me dead wearing Chanel Number Five. I'm just gonna put it that way. I don't want Chanel Number Five around me, and I'm definitely hell not gonna wear Chanel Number Five. So, but we're all funny. We're all different people. So the dogs are barking at fireworks. So people are starting to. I don't know if y'all live in the South, but recently they've opened shop and you can actually buy real fireworks. We're actually free to use real fireworks around here. We can't buy the full size mortars, the ones that light up the sky and make the huge explosions, but we can buy smaller ones. And some people think that's crazy. Yeah, we can buy like mortars that are sometimes the size of like I don't know, like a tennis ball or something around here. But they can't be dangerous if you're not careful. But that's what the dogs are barking about. Let's see here. Very sophisticated. Oh, okay, yeah, I bet it's nice. I haven't tried that one. I have tried a few Low scents, but it's been a really long time. I can't remember the name, but I tried the one that everybody talks about that has that guava note. I've tried that original one. It was a really nice, like cedary, woody guava fragrance. Pretty nice, pretty refined. I want the performance to be better, but it was not a bad fragrance at all. Pretty nice. And if you like fig, you might want to check it out too. So. Let's see here. Let me catch it with the comments. Ronald says, for some reason, I smell clove in bottled intense between 3 to 4 hours, and I don't smell it before and I don't smell it after. But it's an hour, and I avoid my wrist. Yeah, exactly. Sometimes there are notes that are snuck into different accords and fragrances. I think all of y'all know this, and I've said it a couple times, but hopefully maybe I get say it a couple more times to get the word out. Guys, ladies and gents, when you see, especially with niche fragrances, when you look at that, and especially if it has 5 notes, even if they tell you 7, 10 notes, they're just telling you the main accords. They want you to look at what's going to give you an impression, what you're going to be looking for, and what most people are going to smell. The perfumer did lots of wizardry to create those accords and those notes. And there's a lot more going into those fragrances. So sometimes you will smell nuances and different notes, and sometimes you'll pick up on different how. And if you're practiced enough, and if you smelled enough fragrances, you'll smell a certain accord, and you can be like, this jasmine supported by iris and like weird stuff like that. But most people don't want to think about that kind of stuff. Most people just want to smell good. So it really just depends on what you're into, but. Yeah, it's kind of funny when a note surprises you like that, isn't it? It's really funny when a note leaps up on you. Minx says very quickly, chiming in to say hi. Gotta leave right away. Oh, are you busy? What's going on over there, Minx? What you got going on? Okay, I was just checking out over there. People lighting a lot of fireworks over there. I got a big flashlight. I don't know if y'all know about Anchor. There's some brighter flashlights out there, but these are really good value and they're rechargeable. Check these out. Take care of yourself. Don't let anybody sneak up on you. And it's big. It's like a club too. You can get them. Anyways, leave right away. But what's up, Ben? Thoughts on the House of Serge Lutens? Great value, absolutely. I mean, even now, Serge Lutens is a great value, but in the past, Serge Lutens was undervalued and underappreciated, and you used to be able to get just about any Serge Lutens you wanted on on eBay or the gray market for like 50, 60, 70 bucks. But as people have started to warm up and figure out that they're great quality and there's some real good fragrances in those collections. Late Artisan is the same way. You used to be able to find some of them for crazy deals, but some of them are kind of hard to find right now, and maybe the prices aren't as good on those fragrances. But guys, it's they're still nice. I love Serge Lutens. I have Santal Masculin. I don't think it's been reformulated, but I have one with the old label, and I've had people tell me that they want to buy it from me. I don't want to sell it. In my opinion, it's one of the best date night fragrances out there. Santal Masculin. Cheragis is still great. There's a really fascinating one that's kind of really hard to get now. It's called Juxtapo. Probably should have bought it when I could for like 75 bucks. It smells like a bakery, like fresh dough. It's actually really lovely, but it's kind of weird, but I like it. But Serge Lutens has some really nice classic inspired fragrances. I don't know if I would dare to say that they're on the same league as Guerlain, but they have a lot of heritage, they have a lot of history, and they've done big things in the fragrance world. So Serge Lutens, great house, highly respect them. I would like to see them come out with some new lines. I'm not trying to say that new modern fragrance lines or anything like that, but I would love to see Serge Lutens come out with some new boozy fragrances or gourmand or maybe just some new, maybe like a line of dark fragrances or something that they've never done before. I'd love to see them put out some creativity because I know that they got it in their bones. They're probably not super popular, so I don't know when we'll get new releases, but they're still doing pretty good. I just don't know. I think that there's a big opportunity for them if they tried to target the U.S. market a little bit better. So, Minx says, I absolutely, with your opinion on Bois de Jour. Oh, do you mean you agree? That's exactly what I smell too. A very modern blend of Eau Sauvage and Platinigo. Exactly. That's how it smells to me. I'm not sure if they mixed them up and sent them over to some fragrance brand and got some computer algorithm to spit out some kind of like fusion clone thing. But it's nice. The fragrance is really nice and it works. But again, it's funny when you get so deep into this hobby that you think almost everything's a clone because so many perfumers use similar notes and styles and blends. It's kind of funny. I think Wanted by Night has a sweetness that can be cloying at times. 1 Million is more of a sweetness that's more welcoming. I mean, I could see that. It's Azzaro's Wanted by Night has a little bit more of a maybe a provocative, maybe like an arrogant type of sweetness. Um, 1 Million Lucky is a little bit softer around the edges. Maybe it feels a little bit more cozy. I can see what you're saying. Yeah, but they both are terribly sweet. I'm just teasing you. I don't have anything against you, dog man. I'm just joking with you. But uh, but it is funny to see. Sometimes when I say I don't like clove, I like Mahari's, and that does have clove in it. That's but I'm looking for another fragrance that has clove. But it really, I'm just really picky. So, Charlie Brown says, "Hi Ben, happy to see you, Ben. You're very knowledgeable with fragrances. Nothing but respect. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I'm kind of tired. I'm running on 1 gallon. I'm about to shut down and fall asleep and fall on the ground. I'm not that tired, but I am tired. But thank you, man. I appreciate that. And again, I'm not trying to brag, and I definitely like to stay humble. I have that kind of attitude, but I do want to thank all of y'all and for helping me on Instagram. I don't know if all of y'all are involved on Instagram or have ever been on Instagram, and I'm not trying to take away from YouTube, and I'm not trying to take away from the Facebook groups, but there's a lot of good people over there. It is a nice platform, and I really love it. And yesterday I crossed the 5,000 mark. So if you want to join me over there too, I post about videos or 3 posts a day. Very active over there, and nice stuff is happening. And there's a lot of good friends, and actually, a lot of the new fragrance reviewers who are coming out into YouTube actually started on Instagram. I don't know how many people started on Fragrantica. If I would, if I would have known about Instagram and paid more attention to it, I probably would have. It would have been nice to start out on Instagram and then come over to YouTube. But I started on Fragrantica first. I was like writing little articles and like chatting with people here and there. I didn't have to show my face, and I was like putting my opinions out there. And sometimes I was scared that people are going to get mad, or sometimes you get scared people are going to disagree with you. You say something against a really popular fragrance like Tobacco Vanille, and you're like, I don't like it. And people are like, and people get mad at you. People want to disown you. People want to burn down your house and insult your mom. And it's y'all know it can be crazy out there. So, anyways, I'm just teasing. But y'all know what I'm talking about. But anyways, guys, I think the conversation's died down a little bit. Sorry, I must have scared people off. I shooketh. I brandished my flashlight, and hopefully that didn't scare anybody away. Definitely, violence is a last resort, but I was just joking around, guys. But guys, I hope that y'all have a great weekend. Be safe. I think we're going to wrap it up now. If you want to chat with me, feel free to reach out to me, message me. I think you can get a hold of me. I don't check it very often, but Facebook Messenger. But again, messaging me on Instagram is the best way to get a hold of me these days. It's the easiest way. And hopefully I get to see some of y'all some more. And hopefully, smell good out there. And definitely don't be a stranger. Always let me know what fragrances you're getting into. Sometime this next upcoming week, I should have my Polo Red Extreme come in the mail. I'm excited to get that. I should have my Really Patchouli come sometime soon. But by Boise 1920, it's in the mail. I'm about to buy my first Merchant of Venice fragrance, and I'll be able to shed a tiny bit of light. It's just one fragrance out of the whole collection, but I'll be able to tell y'all a little bit what I think about the brand and the fragrance, and maybe I'll dive into the brand more. Maybe it'll be my last Merchant of Venice. Maybe I'll never buy another one of them, because again, $70 might be a pocket change to some people, but blind buying, I have to save up, and I'm taking a risk on it, and it's kind of fun, but it's risky for sure. So always nice to be here. Have a great night. Absolutely. Take it easy, my friends. Live well, smell great, and be safe out there. The world's crazy with traffic and everything else. Just be careful, and I'll see you next time. Thank y'all for being a friend. I'm here for you, and I'll catch you next time, everybody. Peace out, and bye.